There's something special about antique furniture. It's not just about the look or the feel of the piece, but the stories it holds within its aged wood and intricate designs. Each scratch, each dent, and each faded spot tells a tale of its journey through time. It whispers stories of the past. Imagine the hands that have touched it, the rooms it has adorned, and the lives it has witnessed. Antique furniture is like a silent storyteller, sharing its history with those who take the time to listen. Each piece is unique with its own history and character. No two pieces are exactly alike, and that's what makes them so special. The craftsmanship, the materials, and the design all reflect the era in which they were made, offering a glimpse into the past. Many people are drawn to the charm and elegance of antique furniture. There's a certain allure to owning something that has stood the test of time, something that has a story to tell. It's like owning a piece of history, a tangible connection to the past. They love the patina, the imperfections, and the sense of timelessness that these pieces bring to a home. The patina, a result of years of use and exposure, adds a layer of depth and character that new furniture simply can't replicate. The imperfections, far from being flaws, are marks of authenticity and history, but finding authentic antique furniture can be expensive. The rarity and age of these pieces often come with a hefty price tag. For many, this can be a barrier to owning such beautiful and historic items, and sometimes you might want to give a more modern piece that antique look. Maybe you have a piece of furniture that you love, but it just doesn't have that age charm. Or perhaps you want to create a cohesive look in your home by blending new and old styles. That's where the art of antiquing furniture comes in. Antiquing is a technique that allows you to transform modern pieces into ones that look like they've been around for decades. It's a creative and satisfying process that can give your furniture a unique and personalized touch. It's a fun and rewarding way to breathe new life into old pieces or give new furniture vintage charm. The process involves various techniques such as painting, distressing, and adding patina to create the illusion of age. Each step is an opportunity to add your own personal touch and creativity. Antiquing furniture is all about creating the illusion of age. It's about making a piece look like it has a history, like it has been loved and used for many years. The goal is to achieve a look that is both authentic and aesthetically pleasing. It's about adding those subtle imperfections and that beautiful patina that make antique furniture so appealing. Whether you're working on a small project or a large one, the end result is always rewarding. You get to create something that not only looks beautiful but also tells a story, just like true antique furniture. Glazing is a simple but effective way to add depth and dimension to your furniture. This technique can transform a plain piece into something truly special, giving it a unique character and a professional finish. Whether you're working on a new project or revitalizing an old piece, glazing can make a significant difference. It involves applying a thin, translucent layer of paint over a base coat. This layer is what gives the furniture its depth, as it allows the base coat to show through while adding a new dimension of color and texture. The translucency of the glaze is key to achieving this effect. This creates a sense of depth and highlights the details of the furniture. The glaze settles into the crevices and carved details, making them stand out more prominently. This is particularly effective on pieces with intricate designs or textures, as the glaze accentuates these features beautifully. To start, choose a glaze color that complements your base coat. The choice of color can dramatically affect the final look of your piece. For a subtle effect, choose a glaze that is similar in tone to your base coat. For a more dramatic look, opt for a contrasting color. Experimenting with different colors can yield surprising and delightful results. You can use a pre-mixed glaze or create your own by mixing paint with a glazing medium. Pre-mixed glazes are convenient and come in a variety of colors, but mixing your own allows for more customization. By adjusting the ratio of paint to glazing medium, you can control the transparency and intensity of the glaze. Apply the glaze with a brush, working in small sections. This ensures that the glaze doesn't dry too quickly and allows you to manipulate it as needed. Use long, even strokes to spread the glaze and make sure to cover all areas evenly. Working in small sections also helps you maintain control over the application process. Use a clean cloth or a glazing brush to remove some of the glaze, creating subtle variations in color. This step is crucial for achieving a natural, aged look. By removing some of the glaze, you can create highlights and lowlights that add to the depth and dimension of the piece. The amount of glaze you remove will depend on the look you're going for. This technique will enhance the details of the furniture and give it a more aged appearance. The glaze can make new furniture look like a cherished antique, adding character and history to the piece. It's a great way to give your furniture a unique, personalized touch. Allow the glaze to dry completely before applying a sealant. The sealant will protect the glaze and ensure that your hard work lasts for years to come. It also adds an extra layer of depth and shine, enhancing the overall look of the piece. Make sure to choose a sealant that is compatible with your glaze and base coat for the best results. A rust patina can add a touch of rustic charm to furniture, especially metal pieces. This aged look can transform a plain, modern item into something that appears to have a rich history and character. The process of creating a rust patina is not only rewarding, but also allows for a great deal of creativity and personalization. Whether you're aiming for a subtle hint of age or a more dramatic weathered effect, there are several techniques you can use to achieve the desired look. You can achieve this look using a variety of methods, including paints, waxes, and chemical solutions. Each method has its own unique advantages and can be chosen based on the specific effect you want to create. For instance, paints can offer a quick and easy way to cover large areas, while waxes can provide a more nuanced and layered finish. Chemical solutions, on the other hand, can create authentic rust by accelerating the natural oxidation process of the metal. One simple technique is to use a rust effect paint. These paints are specially formulated to mimic the appearance of rust and can be applied directly to the metal surface. They are available in various shades of brown, orange, and red, allowing you to create a realistic rust effect that suits your taste. These paints contain metallic particles that create a realistic rust finish. The particles reflect light in a way that mimics the natural sheen of rust, adding depth and authenticity to the finish. When applying rust effect paint, it's important to work in thin layers, building up the color gradually to avoid an overly uniform appearance. Apply the paint to the desired areas using a brush or a sponge to create texture. The texture is key to achieving a realistic rust effect, as it mimics the uneven, flaky nature of real rust. You can experiment with different tools and techniques to create a variety of textures, from fine, powdery rust to larger, more pronounced flakes. Another option is to use a combination of metallic waxes. Waxes can be used to add depth and dimension to the rust effect, creating a more complex and layered finish. They're particularly useful for highlighting specific areas and adding subtle variations in color and texture. Apply a dark metallic wax, such as black or bronze, to the areas where you want the rust effect to be most prominent. The dark wax serves as a base layer, providing a rich, deep color that enhances the overall effect. Then layer a lighter metallic wax, like copper or gold, over the darker wax. The lighter wax adds highlights and contrast, creating a more dynamic and realistic finish. By layering different colors of wax, you can achieve a multi-dimensional effect that closely resembles real rust. Use a soft cloth to blend the waxes and create a realistic rust patina. Blending the waxes helps to soften any harsh lines and create a more natural, seamless transition between colors. The final result is a beautifully aged piece of furniture that adds character and charm to any outdoor space. Distressing furniture is a great way to give it a time-worn look. This technique involves creating dents, scratches, and other imperfections that mimic the wear and tear of age. One way to create realistic-looking distress marks is to use nails. Hammer nails into the furniture in random patterns to create dents of varying sizes. You can also use the claw of a hammer to create long, shallow scratches. When distressing furniture, it's important to be mindful of the piece's style and history. Paint is a versatile tool for antiquing furniture. You can use it to create a variety of aged effects, from subtle color variations to a heavily distressed look. One popular technique is called dry brushing. This involves dipping a dry brush into a small amount of paint and lightly brushing it over the surface of the furniture. This creates a subtle layered look that mimics the wear and tear of time. Another technique is to use a chippy paint effect. This involves applying a base coat of paint and then a top coat in a contrasting color. Once the top coat is dry, use sandpaper or a scraper to remove some of the paint, revealing the base coat underneath. Crackle finishes are a beautiful and elegant way to add an antique look to furniture. This technique involves applying a crackle medium between two coats of paint. The crackle medium causes the top coat of paint to crack, revealing the base coat underneath. To create a crackle finish, start by applying a base coat of paint in the desired color. Once the base coat is dry, apply a layer of crackle medium. The thickness of the crackle medium will determine the size of the cracks. While the crackle medium is still wet, apply the top coat of paint. As the crackle medium dries, it will cause the top coat of paint to crack, revealing the base coat underneath. Beyond the basics, there are many other ways to antique furniture. You can use sandpaper to create smooth, worn edges. Applying dark wax to crevices and details can accentuate the age, and you can even use tea bags or coffee grounds to stain wood and give it a weathered patina. Experiment with different methods and techniques to find what works best for you and the piece you're working on. When antiquing furniture, it's important to choose techniques that complement the style of the piece. For example, a heavily distressed finish might not be appropriate for a delicate Victorian-era chair. Similarly, a sleek modern coffee table might not benefit from a rust patina effect. Consider the age, style, and overall aesthetic of the furniture when selecting your antiquing techniques. Aim for a cohesive and harmonious look that enhances the piece's character. Antiquing furniture is a creative and rewarding process. There's no right or wrong way to do it. The most important thing is to experiment, have fun, and let your creativity guide you. Don't be afraid to experiment with different techniques and materials. You might discover a new favorite method or create a unique finish that reflects your personal style. Remember, the goal is to create furniture that you love, pieces that bring you joy and add character to your home. Embrace the imperfections and enjoy the journey. Antique furniture holds a timeless appeal. It connects us to the past, adds character to our homes, and tells stories through its imperfections. By mastering the techniques of antiquing, we can breathe new life into old pieces, give new furniture vintage charm, and create unique and personal treasures for our homes. So, roll up your sleeves, gather your materials, and embark on the rewarding journey of antiquing furniture. Discover the joy of transforming ordinary pieces into extraordinary works of art that will be cherished for years to come.